JD was not getting beat today. Nor Des, you had your work cut out for you. JD wasn't getting beat.
You're watching Blunt Politics with Boston Brian.
All right, let's go. Let's get right into it. How's everybody doing? First off, thank you, JD. Thank you, Daff. Look at you guys already. I haven't even started the live stream. Already 20 gifted memberships. You guys are fantastic. Thank you, Rocks. How are you? Thank you to the mods for being here. Welcome to Blunt Politics. Today is Sunday, July 27th, 2025, and the President of the United States is a pedophile who is actively engaged in a conspiracy to cover up from not only himself, but for other pedophiles. I hope you're having a great day. Welcome to the show. This is Blunt Politics. I'm Boston Brian. This is the political podcast that sifts through the propaganda and the lies of the Republican Party, Donald Trump, and we feed it to you and we break it down for the people that are actually affected by these policies, actively affected by these interviews and the things that are said by our politicians. I appreciate you for joining me, not only on Instagram, YouTube, Twitch, the whole 9 yards, Facebook. I appreciate you guys. Say hi wherever you're at. Hit the like button wherever you're at. Share the stream wherever you're at. That would be fantastic. Lots to talk about today. What a week it was. What a week it was. I mean, this thing has just blown up in a way where I didn't even think we on the left here could have hoped for it to blow up, right? I mean, when we're now actively talking about the president of the United States and his administration, talking to Ghislaine Maxwell, offering, possible pardons, as we'll hear Donald Trump talk about how he definitely has the power to do so. It's his right to do so. I mean, just think of where we are today. Like, that's what's going on. We're not talking to the victims, ladies and gentlemen. And thank you, Just Julie, for being a member for 11 months. Let's go. Hello. How are you guys in Texas? Appreciate you watching. Down south, hit that like button. Up north, hit that like button. East, west, hit that like button. Thank you, Julie. I appreciate you. But, I was just thinking this morning, like, wouldn't it be just as easy to, I don't know, if you had the information and the names of some of the victims in this situation, the Epstein, Donald Trump, world's largest, child sex trafficking ring situation, wouldn't it just be like, I don't know, wouldn't it be smart to maybe sit down with the victims, maybe ask some of the victims, hey, who was involved? Who abused you? Who flew you to here? Who recruited you? Who touched, that type of, like, why are we talking to the criminal? Why are we talking to the ringleader? Why are we talking to the woman that, like, set this whole friggin' thing up? Like, her word should be, like we should take her word for it, right? Like, we're going to trust what she says as she's being questioned by an administration that has an active role, an active part in a conspiracy to cover up all of this shit. And we're just supposed to be like, oh yeah, that's normal. Yeah, our administration possibly giving a pardon to the Madame of Jeffrey Epstein after the egregious crimes against children that we know that they have been found guilty of. Not only that, but we know that there are probably several thousand high-profile individuals still roaming throughout this world, lurking among us every single day, who have not been held responsible, have not been held to account, have not seen their day behind bars like they should. But let me get into thanking everybody before I get too pissed off today. I appreciate you guys for being here. I really do. Yakov, what's up, buddy? How are you? What's up, Lisa? Al, Gypsy, Butterflies, what's up? Ada, how are you? Bot, how are you, my man? Roxanne, Cam, Dame, what's up, my dude? Alyosha, VD, Locata, Paul, what's up? Brandon, Elizabeth, how are you? Hope you had a wonderful birthday. JD, as always, Arizona Sunflowers. What's going on, Fancy? Is it Jan or Jan? I'm going to say Jan, just judging by the last name, but I could be wrong. Correct me if I'm wrong on that. What up, Skittlebutt? What's happening, Mike? What's going on, my man? Appreciate you guys being here. What's up, Wes? You guys and your fucking, I love it. 111. You guys kill me. You crack me up. Hi, Missy. How are you? Appreciate you being here. What up, Leon? How are you? Cruising. Appreciate you guys. All right, yeah. So lots to get into, lots to talk about today. We can talk about Israel announcing what they're calling a tactical pause. What else can we get into today? There's a lot of things. We also have, a poll that Forbes was showing. I was watching a video on a poll about Trump and Epstein. That's not looking good for him. We have Trump live from Scotland. I'd like to see what bullshit he got into. He sat down with the president of the EU, von der Leyen, so we'll be looking at that. Joe Rogan praising South Park, which I'm sure is going to get into under Donald Trump's skin. This is Donald Trump talking about Ghislaine's pardon, as I talked about earlier. The EU has cut aid to Ukraine, so we'll be taking a look at that story due to corruption concerns, something that has been an ongoing issue, something that has been a known issue, something that we've talked about over the years, over the time that this war has been going on, over the time that that Ukraine has been in talks with trying to get into NATO. Clearly, there have been some things that need some loose ends that need to be tied up in that country. Some things that still need to be worked out if they want serious consideration. And then obviously the Israel pause of some fighting and some airdrops resume as fury grows over starvation in Gaza. So again, I'm never sure which I want to get into first, but I do know that I want to ask you guys to hit that like button before we get into the show. I appreciate it. Thank you so much for being here. You guys really make this show run, and there are a multiplicity of different ways that you can help this show. There's the Venmo up in the corner. You can become a channel member just underneath me. $2.99 get you a channel membership for a month, less than a gallon of gas, less than a gallon of milk. I mean, good. I can only continue to list the things that you would pay more for than a membership to this show for a month. There's patreon.com/Boston Brian. Many ways for you to help out. I appreciate you guys. Thank you so much again to the mods and to all you guys for being here to keep this show running. I appreciate it. What do you guys want to get into first? Should we start off light and just kind of see what's going on in the old clip farmers world? What do you call them? I don't even know what you call them anymore. It looks like everybody's starting off here. If I'm looking at the social medias, talking about Donald Trump's sit down with Ursula von der Leyen. So maybe we should just get into that right off the bat. I know we've purposely not tried to cover much of this asshole face to face. But again, this was recent. I think would be the first people on it in case he does say something stupid. So why don't we take a look at this? We'll get into just a little bit of it. If we start getting bored through our teeth, then we'll hop on to our next story. But I think we should probably take a look at what the president of the United States is saying as he's sitting down with the president of the EU, especially in such pressing times, pressing moments. But yeah, this is, oh man, I can't believe RSBN. Hell, let's start off with this because RSBN, as I was just scrolling through that, is trying to show me Donald Trump's golf swing. like it's good. So I got to show you this. Let me just show you this. I thought I had a banger on Blue Sky, if I do say so myself. Well, yeah, let me see if I can find it. Let's see here. Here we go. Can you view this StreamYard? Let's see. I'll put it on the big screen. Yeah, just stage. All right. So, as an avid golfer myself, I'm sure a few of you in the chat are also. One would know that what good form looks like on the golf course. And I know this isn't important, relevant. It's a side. Believe me, bear with me. But what in the limp-wristed pedophile pitch shot is this shit? I mean, I don't know. I've never seen this on the golf course. I'm pretty sure he hits the golf ball twice. It looks like he's confused as to whether or not he's pitching, chipping, or putting. But this is what MAGA and X and RSBN and all of these other freaks are now posting to show Donald Trump's alphaness. Check this out, and let me know if you've ever seen it. Let me know if you've ever seen anything like this. I'm going to mute it just in case there's any copyright trouble with this. But what is this, ladies and gentlemen? Here, let me get rid of the ticker just in case that's in the way. Ready? Watch this shit. Ready? Here we go. I'm sorry. I've never seen anything like that. And above and beyond having a pedophile on the golf course is just enough embarrassment for the sport. But, even setting that aside somehow, like, the elephant in the room that it is, even though we can't, this is just embarrassing enough. Like, he's just the most embarrassing man, no matter which way you take it, no matter how you look at it, no matter which way you shake it down. He's just... It's just unbelievable to laugh at the guy. It really is. It's just unbelievable. I've never seen that wrist motion. I don't know what that is. I was kind of I was kind of taken aback. But all right, sorry. On to the actual onto the actual story. My apologies. I just couldn't believe it. I don't know what that is. I've seen him do that putting. But never 30, 40 yards away off the green next to a bunker, possibly with a pitching wedge. Like, what the fuck was that? He literally just like, it still wasn't even good. Oh, thank you, Jess. Love to you and Mel. Logan, fellow lobster, thank you. Love your amazing voices being heard all over the world. We're so proud of you. Love you, brother. Oh, thank you, Jess. Appreciate that. Tell Danny and everybody else I said hello. Much love to you and the pets as well. Thank you guys for your support. I appreciate that. I've seen better shots at a putt-putt course. And I know, listen, I know. I understand. That's not what's important in this whole thing, right? That's not what we should be focusing on. But just as, an athlete, as somebody that grew up around the sport, as somebody that loves the sport, I had to say something about that. I had to say, and especially because MAGA is like posting all of these videos of his horrendous swing, not showing the actual ball flight, to make it look like he's some sort of alpha male as he's running away from his own, pedophilia case. But anyways, all right, let's see if we can get into this. Let's see where they sit down here, because RSBN does a lot of friggin' yapping in between. A lot of yapping in between. All right, let's see here. It seems like they sit down right about here. We'll hop in here, and we'll get through as much as we could possibly bear, right? I mean, it is what it is. Political podcast, president sitting down with the president of the EU. We got it, ladies and gentlemen. We got it. All right, let's hit it. I'm sorry, right off the bat, what was that? What was that? Look at this stupid face. Look at Trump's face right now. Ready? Look at her. Oh, poor lady. Oh my God, poor lady. Look at her. She was like, oh my God, I can't believe I have to sit through this. She's like, I literally have to sit here. Look at her face. Like, she is so dejected. She is so disgusted right now. She's like, God damn it. Like, I can't believe this. I got to sit through another friggin' press conference with this asshole. Like, if these people could only smell him right now. Like, how do we not have smell-o-vision yet? All right, my apologies. Here we go.
Well, thank you very much.
All right. All right. It's been a while since I covered a full, sit down of his, right? I forgot how stupid he is. All right, here we go.
It's a beautiful Sunday in Scotland, and we thought we could cut things short and certainly travel distance, right, by having our meeting here. So we discuss options, and it's an honor to have
What he means is he really kind of wanted to just extend his stay in Scotland, because I don't know if you've heard, but the news at home right now just isn't good for Donald Trump. I mean, whether it's like potentially pardoning, the ringleader of sex trafficking rings involving children, or it's just his direct involvement, whether it be with criminalities or financial ties, or just being best friends with Jeffrey Epstein. Things aren't going well, whether it be, just mainstream media reporting on it, whether it be his own MAGA base really calling him out on his own bullshit, just not going well. So, even though this trip may or may not have been planned for some time, maybe before this media firestorm blew up in his face, I may even give him that. He is pretty desperate to extend that stay. I don't think he's in any fucking rush to get back to the United States. I really don't. I think as long as he can talk to reporters that aren't the same reporters that will question him back home as soon as he gets on that tarmac, as soon as he gets off Air Force One, then he's going to be at least happier than he would be in the United States. Right? Good pause face, though. Pause game. my God. You know what that reminds me of? You know what that reminds me of? You ever seen the episode of, I think it was the Grand Tour. I forget now if it was the Grand Tour or Top Gear. I think it was the Grand Tour where they stick the wax figure of one of the legendary race car drivers from Britain or Scotland back in the day. And it's a wax figure and he slowly over the show is melting because of the heat. Like, that's what this reminds me of. That's all right. Fuck. Now I got to find the picture. Hold on. Grand Tour melting wax figure. He's from the north, I believe. What the hell was it? Oh, it was Nigel Mansell. That's who it was. It was Nigel Mansell. Let's see if I can. I might have to just show a picture though, because I can't actually play it because I'm damn sure there's copyright on there. He is. I got an editor through my cheek. Hold on, ready? This is what it reminds me of. I don't know how to make. How do I just make this picture bigger? This one right here. How do I just make that bigger? Oh, there he is. But then as he goes on, oh, for crying out loud. We'll go back to this one. Right? I got an arrow through my cheek. Like, as the show goes on, the wax just continues to melt. That's what Donald Trump reminds me of right now. That's what this reminds me of. Is just a melting wax figure, like just disintegrating in front of the cameras as he's being questioned. All right, here we go. Sorry, my apologies.
President of the European Union with us. Ursula's been really done a terrific job for them, not for us, but she's done a great.
Slacks. Appreciate you, Slacks. Thank you, buddy. 13 strong months. Love right back to you. Appreciate that. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it.
Jeff, and she's highly respected by us also. And we look forward to talking to see if we can do something. We've had a very good relationship over the years, but it's been a very one-sided transaction. Very.
Here's my contributions to the quote. Keep it together during this idiot's babbling fund. He's so embarrassing. Can we send him into free space? Love you, Brian. Thank you. I appreciate that. That's hilarious. And like I said, give me some credit. Like, it's been a while. I've done my absolute best not to like show you long stretches of this guy as I used to do. Like, that used to be all I did. My specialty was just covering every single thing that this guy said from start to finish. And I think I've done a little better at relieving relieving you guys of that duty in that stress. Thank you, Stoneflower Dragon. Appreciate that. Thank you, guys. You guys have been fantastic. You really have been fantastic. What's up, Mark? Appreciate you, man. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for the work you do. You guys are amazing. What's up, Jen? What's up, Bridget? Hi, Regina. Hi, Debbie, Lacey, Wes, Big Steph. How are you? Atrocious. Jovan or Jovan? Jovan. Bro, hit him with the space modulator. Oh, thanks, Slacks. Coming in hot. Let's go. Appreciate that, dude. I appreciate that. You might, you might like to hear this after today's show, and I do have a hard out today because we'll be getting on the road to go to the Warp Tour in Long Beach to go say hi to Ken Casey and the Dropkick Murphys. So that should be interesting, to say the least, after seeing some of the videos and pictures coming out of that. Looks like a little mini Woodstock happening, so that should be interesting. But yeah, I figured you'd enjoy that one. So I'll tell Ken Casey and the Dropkick Murphys that everybody from the Blunt Politics chat, all of the Bryantologists here, say hello and thank them for their the hard work that they do and their dedication. So hopefully it works out. Hopefully it works out. On the road again. Not that long. Luckily I'm a lot closer than 3,000 miles, butterflies. I appreciate it. What's up, Bob? Appreciate you, man. Thank you, guys. You guys have been absolutely fantastic this entire journey. And again, I can't thank you enough. So, all right, let's get on with this asshole. Continue to donate to the keep our minds sane while we listen to this mumbo jumbo fund, if you care to, please?
Unfair to the United States. And I think both sides want to see a bit fairness, but it's been a very, very one-sided deal, and it shouldn't be. And so we're here with her very brilliant staff, and hopefully we'll resolve a few issues.
Yeah, the issue basically that I've kind of now put the EU, NATO, basically the entirety of Europe in, when I allowed, and I continue to allow, Vladimir Putin to kill Ukrainians on a daily basis, on a nightly basis, when I allow him the mindset to say, maybe the president of the United States won't stop me if I try to go and push this beyond Ukraine, if I try to expand this into a wider conflict, if I try to involve more of Europe, or if I try to kill and conquer more of Europe. So now the EU, NATO, they're all on the back foot because of Donald Trump's fecklessness, because of his weakness, because of his inability to lead, his inability to seek peace, his inability to get leaders in a room like he says he has the ability to do, and actually sit down and talk to them and maybe hash out some sort of peace plan. Not that we haven't thought that was possible, but, going by Donald Trump's rhetoric, he would have you believe he's the fucking woo. Nobody else in the world could do it better, baby. And we are only so fortunate as to have him in the position of power so that we could end this in 24 hours. No, we didn't. Didn't think so. Okay. All right, Paul. Oh, Perry. What's up there, Perry? Appreciate that, Perry. Ooh, buddy. Oh, say hello to your pup for me too. Appreciate that. Becoming a new member. Thank you very much. Thank you so much. And you too, become a channel member. Just underneath me should be a little button that says something of the sorts along those lines of join or thanks or something. One of those things. I don't know. Let's go.
It's a great honor. We just built this ballroom, and we're building a great ballroom at the White House. The White House has wanted a ballroom for 150 years. But they never had a real estate person. No president knew how to build a ballroom.
I'm sorry. So it was originally built. It was then burnt down and then rebuilt. But nobody knows how to build anything. You do know the history of the White House, right? Like you do know the history of the house and how it's, been constructed over time, had that little thing with the British, and then had to be, reconstructed, that whole thing, But nope, it had to be Donald Trump to come along and be like, you know what, this place needs a ballroom. Oh, Jesus.
But this just opened, relatively short time ago, and it's been quite the success. And I think I was just saying I could take this one, drop it right down there, and it would be
Fish Delights as a ball pit. Sounds like more fun. Yo, you guys fucking crack me up, man. I'm trying to get through a show here. I can't do clips. It's hard to clip when I got to stop and congratulate you and laugh at your fucking really funny comments, guys. It gets difficult.
Well, this is exactly what they've wanted. But it's an honor to have you at the new ballroom at Turnberry. And thank you very much. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Mr. President.
She's like, oh, I want to fucking squeeze your hand right. Oh, but thank you, Mr. President. Thank you.
Thank you very much for inviting me here. Indeed, it is today about trade between the Europe.
I think it's revenue. I think what today is about, inviting you there, is revenue generated at Turnberry in order to, make that establishment somehow profitable for this week, at least. I think with all the Secret Service there, I think with all the media probably staying in or around the area, it's probably generating some revenue, some tax dollars from us going to Turnberry. I don't know. Let's just say in the form of Secret Service, in the form of, cars, in the form of planes, helicopters, you name it, that stuff.
European Union and the United States. We're together the two largest economies worldwide.
Right.
And that keeps freezing on their end. That's not on my end. My end's that's RSBN or the live feed. They've been having some trouble with the live feed recently, I've noticed. Even the main clips that went out from some of his interviews had like 2 or 3 second periods where the whole screen was frozen. So here we go.
If you look at the trade volume, it's the biggest trade volume globally with $1.7 trillion. among us. And if you look at our markets, it's a huge the United States and the European Union. So
it's a good ballroom they built. Unfortunately, they didn't put in any fucking Wi-Fi. There's absolutely the nearest router is on the fucking 9th green. Apparently, can somebody go run out and grab that router? Because apparently the service in here sucks.
So I'm very much looking forward to the discussions we will have now. Our staff have done some of the heavy lifting, but now it's on us.
Yeah.
And you're known as a tough negotiator and deal maker.
Well, Big Daddy, speaking of, sorry, I'm just going through the comments. My apologies. Speaking of Tucker Carlson, we also have Anna Casparian sat down with Tucker Carlson. So I don't know, again, what the copyright situation is with Tucker's show, but if we could maybe show a couple clips, whether from one's posted a Blue Sky or Twitter or whatever it may be, I'd like to show you a little bit of that, because I was ready to give Anna her props. I was, because she had a brilliant moment on Piers Morgan's show where she rightly, aggressively, loudly, and proudly called out a Zionist baby killer, or one that at least defends the killing of babies, on Piers Morgan's show, and she just fucking let him have it. She just let loose, and for the first time in a long time, I was proud of Anna. I was proud of what she was saying, right? And I was like, that sounds a lot like the way she should be fighting, and a lot like what I'm thinking. But then, unfortunately, she fucking had to muddy the waters once again and either release this pre-recorded Tucker interview or just go on Tucker's show immediately after that and ruin the whole thing. So, again, just it's tough for me to give praise as you're sitting down smiling. I don't mind if you go on Tucker's show and say, "Hey, asshole, you've been lying to the fucking American people for I don't know how long. We know your text messages and what you really think about Donald Trump. We saw those, but you continuously come out and try to lie and obfuscate and defend for the guy, even though you're seemingly on the edges now." What's going on here? The lies and the people that you hurt, the racist, bigoted, anti-trans shit that you used to say. What's going on? Do we still believe in that, or can we do we have to have that conversation, or what's going on? But that's not how it went. That's not how it went.
What is in front and fair, and what is in front of us?
That's less important.
If we are successful, I think it would be the biggest deal each of us has ever struck. So I'm very much looking forward.
Ever struck by anybody? That's true.
Yeah.
That's true. Right now we have that honor goes to Japan. We just struck it.
Way to go, RSBN. Good job, guys. Way to go. Killing it. Really killing it. All right, let's see if we can maybe fast forward through some of this bullshit here. See how that does.
Sticking point is fairness. Okay. Please.
Why you're in a bad mood? Was it about morning golf, or why you're not in a good mood?
No, the golf was beautiful. It's golf can never
She just asked why he's not in a good mood.
be bad. Even if you play badly, it's still good. If you had a bad day on the golf course, it's okay. It's better
You fucking idiot. He couldn't think of the saying. He's an idiot.
than other days.
Oh, wow. Give me that one again, sir. Hit me again. I can put some stank on it this time, buddy. What was that saying that they say all the time?
It's golf can never be bad. Even if you play badly, it's still good. If you had a bad day on the golf course, it's okay. It's better than other days.
It's better than other days. Oh, there's so many different ways you could say that. There's so many different ways you can say that. Like, a bad day on the golf course is easily better than, the best day in your office, or, add in, add in any ending that makes sense there. He couldn't think of it. Oh, I love it. To see the wheels actually turning in his head, trying to figure that out in real time, fucking killed me. Sorry, here we go.
But no, I think I look forward to this meeting. We've had a hard time with trade with Europe, very hard time, and I'd like to see it resolved. But if it isn't, we'll, have tariffs, and they'll do what they have to do. But we have a good chance of getting it resolved. We'll probably know in about an hour.
Thank you, Michael. Thank you, Michael McAndrews. And thank you, Sheldon, for the gifted membership. Thank you, Michael, for the $10. And Michael says, Epstein, never heard of him. Exactly. I'm waiting to see what the press there, what the questions are there. You know what I mean? I want to see if they continue to bring up Jeffrey Epstein. I want to see, his answers to it. I want to know, exactly how this thing is getting along here. So I hope they continue to press him on it, as they should, around the world. I think this is a worldwide story. I think, Scotland, the UK in general has just as much in this. They should want to know about this just as much as anybody else, right?
Didn't take that long. It's complicated, but not really complicated when you get right down to it.
Makes sense. Totally makes sense. It's complicated, but not complicated when you get down to it. It's complicated, but not.
Right.
August 1st deadline, is there any chance that gets?
No. The August 1st is there for everyone. The deals all start on August 1st. Most of the deals, other than steel and aluminum, which we've been getting 50% tariffs from, I guess, just about everybody. And those have come in. And
I'm pretty sure that not just about everybody is paying 50% tariffs on steel, right?
We've taken in, hundreds of billions of dollars just on steel and aluminum.
Yeah, somebody really messed up on his makeup this morning after his round of golf. Somebody really jacked up. Looks like they forgot in between his eyebrows. They forgot that little area right here in between his eyebrows and went a little heavy on the dark on the nose. Almost looks like Dan Aykroyd as the judge in Nothing But Trouble. That's what that nose reminds me of. Let me see if I can. Hold on. As we keep in tune with our visuals. Let's see. Nothing but trouble. Judge nose. Yeah, there he is. There he is. There he is. That's what Donald Trump's nose reminds me of right now. That's what he looks like. That's Donald Trump's schnoz at the moment, ladies and gentlemen. That's what it reminds me of. And we go back. All right.
You've seen the numbers. We had a tremendous amount of money come in over the last month, and it's coming in, very rapidly, which is fair.
No, it's not a butt nose. It's actually the opposite. It's a literal dick nose. It's a dick nose. It's a dick nose. But here he is. Yeah, this is a good representation of what Donald Trump reminds me of right now. Let's see if I can get this picture big for you. Honey, I'm not good. I'm not very good at zooming in on pictures here. Open image in new tab, maybe? That'll do. All right, here we go. Here we go. Here's Donald Trump eating his recent meal. Looks good. Looks great. All right, there we go. Sorry. My apologies.
We have a lot of steel mills and plants, aluminum mills and plants being built. We have a lot of AI being built, and we have a lot of auto plants
building tons of AI. Tons of it is being erected all over the place. If you look, you'll see it. You probably walk out of your door right now and see some AI. It's probably being built in your front yard as you have your breakfast.
Being built or going to be built because they don't want to pay tariffs. So, if they don't want to pay tariffs, the best way to do it is just build your plant in the United States. Yes, please.
I'm going to say it's probably just not do business with the United States. Probably just, find somewhere else to do imports, exports. Maybe China, for instance, like a lot of countries are now turning to make up the difference.
What do you expect from the Europeans in terms of opening their markets to American products?
Well,
I didn't hear the question, and I'm not sure if that was once again because of RSBN's shitty coverage, or if that's because of Donald Trump's shitty ballroom and the probably lack of funds that were spent as far as, I don't know, internet connectivity, Wi-Fi, fiber optics, that sort of thing. But what do I know? No, it's still paused. Yeah, I'm gonna see if I can skip ahead a little bit because RSBN clearly is having some issues.
So many different Volkswagen, so many different cars, and so many millions of cars. I would imagine number one, I didn't look at that, but I would imagine number one by far, more so than even Japan. Japan sells a lot of cars too.
Typically what a president does, right? Before I look at something, I'm just going to come out on the cameras and in front of the world and say, it's probably number one. It's probably true. I haven't looked at any of that. Nobody's actually, advised me on anything to say as far as that situation is concerned. But I'm going to come out right now and say I'm going to guess because, we all know Donald Trump's track record of guessing and hypothesizing and, predicting the future.
But the Japan deal worked out very favorable, very good. I hope for them.
Is the Japan deal even finalized yet? Did they go through the legislative process that they needed to in their own country to finalize that deal? Or is he still just going off the fact that he sent out a letter? You know what I mean? Let me know in the chat. Ian says no. Veronica says no. Eric says no. Skittlebutt says no. Brian M says no. Colleen says no. Laurie says no. Evie's aunt says no. Jesus H. Tobias says it's just horse shit. Timebridge says no. Philly says no. Wes says no. Pam says no. All right. Well, clarifies that. So again, as you hear, Caroline Levitt, Donald Trump continue to, oh, thank you, Ricky. Oh, let's go. You guys what a show. You guys are just stepping up big today. I appreciate that. I am going to pass on so much love from you guys on to the Dropkick Murphys. He's going to be so pumped. He's going to be fucking pumped, kid. He's going to be fucking pumped. I can't wait to see him fucking rock, kid. All right. Yeah, loud noises, exactly. Loud noises is right. Anything but. Loud noises, look at somewhere, anything. Don't touch my drum set.
Them too. And that's what we want to do, make everybody happy. Yes, please.
Mr. President, should Israel be doing more to allow food into Gaza?
Say it.
Should Israel be doing more to allow food into Gaza is the question.
Israel be doing more to allow food into Gaza?
What did you say?
Israel.
Okay, that's twice now. That's fucking twice now. And it's been clear as a fucking whistle both times. Literally the only question this whole time that I've heard from beginning to end without an issue, been loud and clear. And she said it twice now, and fucking Papa Douche over here can't understand a word she's saying. One more, come on, give it to us one more time. I mean, just tell me, you guys can probably hear this clearly, right? Even watching secondhand through my live stream. Check this out.
Please.
Mr. President, should Israel be doing more to allow food into Gaza?
Say it.
Should Israel be doing more to allow food into Gaza?
What did you say?
Should Israel be doing more to allow food into Gaza?
Well, we gave 60.
Jesus Christ. Holy shit. What's he got? Fucking little bits of like Jeffrey Epstein's tissue rolled up into his ears so he can't hear anything. That's like Donald Trump's version of la 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 la. He's got like secret little bits of fucking toilet paper he stole from Jeffrey Epstein's fucking townhouse or whatever the fuck it was that he's been keeping for safekeepings. He just kind of every now and then crumples a little piece of Jeffrey Epstein's toilet paper up, sticks it in his ears, and is like, I can't hear you people. I hear nothing. Look the other way. Loud noises.
$1 million 2 weeks ago, and nobody even acknowledged it for food. And it's terrible.
Yeah, that's again. You think we're supposed to what? Be fucking praising? And that's literally not even a dollar per person, right? What are we talking about here? What are we talking about here? And as we reported on the last several shows, how this was one of the fastest growing humanitarian aid disasters, starvation, examples of fucking forced starvation that we've seen in modern history. We've talked about endlessly the stories and the reports and the confirmations of, independent groups literally luring people into these aid stations seeking food only to be shot and gassed and grenaded, and fucking just in every way possible treated inhumanely. I mean, this is a story that has been only growing in severity, only growing in reach, in spread over the last several months, while Donald Trump sits on his fucking hands, while Benjamin Netanyahu does fucking full send podcasts, while Donald Trump talks about building a fucking Trump Tower in Gaza and moving the people into the desert. Unreal.
You really at least want to have somebody say thank you. No other country gave anything.
They always are, Alvin. They always are. They fucking always are, right? They're either dropped in the wrong places, the stuff isn't fucking edible, or it's damaged upon the drop. It's never enough. It's fucking never enough. Ask General Paulus, if the Luftwaffe was able to sustain the 6th Army, in their fight to get into Stalingrad, right? Because they were promised by Goering that Goering the Luftwaffe had more than enough capabilities to sustain them throughout the winter, throughout the siege, right? The Berlin airlift. I mean, there's so many different examples that we could talk about. It never fucking works. Same thing with the pamphlets and the leaflets, right? You can drop leaflets till you're fucking blue in the face. But when those leaflets rain down, guess what? The people of Europe didn't say, oh, you know what? We should leave. No, they didn't. They said, let's sweep these fucking things up. Let's use them as kindling to light our fire and stay warm.
Gave $60 million 2 weeks ago for food for Gaza. And nobody acknowledged it. Nobody talks about it.
Because if you don't let the fucking food in, right, and you don't let enough food in there to sustain the entire population, and if you were the cause of this in the first place, you don't get fucking snaps. You don't get a pat on the back for doing something just so you can, again, stave off international, fucking ire, international outrage. This is what Israel does. They do these little things to keep, to calm the waters. When the world gets too upset, when the world gets too outraged, they feel like there's a boiling point and a tipping point, and then they say they got to concede just a little bit on something. Whether even that even happens or not, let's just say that we're going to do something, and hope that the media runs with it, and then the people can forget about it for a couple weeks until it's brought back up how many Palestinians are again getting shot in the head by the IDF as they're just trying to get some food. How many kids are starving to death on a daily basis because they won't let in food. And then we start talking about it again.
And it makes you feel a little bad when you do that. And, you have other countries not giving anything. None of the European countries, by the way, gave. I mean, nobody gave but us. And nobody said, gee, thank you very much. And it would be nice to have at least a thank you.
Who the fuck is he? I don't even know who's he talking about. The Europeans didn't give to who?
And I took a lot of heat. When I do that, a lot of people aren't happy about that because they say, well, why are we?
Who's he saying? The Europeans didn't send anything to is he saying they didn't send any aid to Gaza? Is that what he's talking about? Or is he again talking about Nate? I'm confused. I don't think he knows what he's referencing here. Like, what does he want to thank you for here? Allowing Benjamin Netanyahu to continue on with his genocide, with his ethnic cleansing? To continue to supply Benjamin Netanyahu with the fucking offensive weaponry to make the killing, an option, to make it so that he can continue killing people, to join with him hand in hand in, attacking Iran? Like, what are we talking about here? What do you want praise for in this situation exactly? Being the fucking outright cause right behind Benjamin Netanyahu and his fucking genocidal government for all of this? And you want some fucking some sort of pat on the back?
doing it and nobody else. But I think we had a humanitarian reason for doing it. What's going to happen? I don't know. I can tell you that Hamas, as I said, would happen at the end. You know, we've gotten back a lot of hostages, a tremendous number of hostages.
Man, it's amazing. It's amazing that after all this time, that two unrepentant fucking genocidal madmen that say that they are the best negotiators, they are the most, if you want a negotiator, if you want something to get done, then you want us in there, right? And how long they've been saying, we're getting all the hostages out and we're not doing this until we get the hostages back and all the hostages. Meanwhile, fucking Israel and the IDF and Netanyahu are killing his own hostages with fucking total disregard for where they're bombing. They're killing hostages upon their release because they're just firing at will upon people. They get the families of the actual hostages demonstrating and protesting against what Israel is doing because they are not showing care for where the hostages are when they're bombing. And then we got this fucking asshole who, again, is now going to tell us that there's still more hostages when he, I don't know how long ago, said that, there's nobody else in the world that's going to be able to get these hostages home in a week or 2 weeks or whatever the fuck he gave.
Most of them. Now we have dead hostages, and the mothers want them back. And we have 20 people approximately, but that are living. But we have a lot of bodies, and the parents want those bodies as much as they would want their child if that child were alive.
What a sick son of a bitch. Talk about a guy that doesn't know empathy or compassion, doesn't know what it's like. Thank you, Colleen. I appreciate that so much. Appreciate that. Doesn't know what it's like to actually love his children to the point where he would actually have some, I don't know, emotional reaction if something, say, were to happen to them, right? As opposed to, I don't know, what happens with his bank account now, or what happens with the house or the car, or, what happens with his stake in the business, which is, I'm sure, what Donald Trump would actually be worried about. Yeah, the best words. Right. But no, he's got this. He's got
I
this.
met with parents it was so sad.
Talking about how they want bodies back as much as they'd want them if they were alive. Like, the fact that he's even talking about this in such a flippant way when he has absolutely no idea what he's talking about. He has no clue as to the emotional toll this has taken on some of the people in the region is, again, it's just gross to me. Just fucking gross.
Sir, please get my son back. How is your son doing? Well, he's dead, but they have his body, and it's so important. It's more important. It's almost like more, but it's as important as if the child were alive.
See how he's like surprised? Yeah, what was the question again? Exactly, okay. See how he's like surprised? He's like, oh my God, I'm like shocked that these parents would want the body of their dead kid back just as much as they would want it if he was alive. It's like, that makes no sense to me, but that's what they want. Clearly having no understanding what it's like to be an actual parent.
These people were, they're devastated. And I said, when you get it down to a certain number, you're not going to be able to make a deal with Hamas. Because once they give them up, then they feel that that's going to be the end of them. Oh,
so now what he's using them as collateral. So basically, he's using these hostages. He doesn't want to release these hostages. If what I'm taking that Donald Trump just said to face, as I understand it, what he's saying now is he doesn't want Hamas to release these other 20 hostages, if we're to believe his number that he just said. Because if Hamas releases those hostages, then they have nothing to restrain them, right? Then again, this is Donald Trump's rhetoric, Donald Trump's thinking coming out here. Then we can't possibly ask for the release of these 20 hostages because then we have nothing. Then, Hamas has nothing to limit them in what their actions would be after that, right? Like, it literally makes no sense any way you think about it. Sorry, my apologies. I always click on some random. Right, exactly. No, you're right, Al Gypsy. Absolutely.
And what I said is exactly true. They had a routine discussion the other day, and all of a sudden they hardened up. They don't want to give them back. And so Israel's going to have to make a decision.
Did you
I know what I do, but I don't think it's appropriate that I say. But Israel's going to have to make a decision.
And this is along the lines of the clip that we saw the other day for him, where he said this. I don't know if you saw this. What's the best way to bring this up? I'd say gives Israel the okay. He was kind of seemingly egging Israel on to finish this once again, right? Not interested here. Let's see if I can bring up a video clip of that. It was just the other day. Let's see here. One day ago. Finished. Yeah, this is it, I think. Sorry, let me just share this video for just a second. See if they play the clip that I'm wanting to play from Trump here. I think it's right here. Let me see. Make this bigger for you guys. Play this.
Make a deal. I think they want to die, and it's very, very bad. And it got to be to a point where you're gonna have to finish the job. They really they asked for things. Don't forget, we got a lot of hostages out. So now we're down to the final hostages, and they know what happens after you get the final hostages. And basically, because of that, they really didn't want to make a deal.
So that's him telling, again, Israel to finish the job as it pertains to the what they would call, I guess, the Palestinian question, right? Is that what they're trying to find the final solution to? Is that what they're trying to find the final resolution to, the final answer to? Is the Palestinian question? It's funny how that rhetoric lines up with, I don't know, the past in several different ways.
So what does Donald Trump mean by saying finishing the job? Now,
He means exactly what you think it means. Exactly what you think it means. So let's just go back to this asshole here. My apologies. All right, let's go.
You were in the audience, you talked about the images coming out of Gaza and starving kids. Those images are still going. Many of them are much worse. Thinner children starving. What do you see or feel when you look at those images?
Well, it's terrible. You know, when I see the children, and when I see, especially over the last couple of weeks, and people are stealing the food, they're stealing the money, for the food.
He's literally going to blame the people that are trying to steal food after being starved to death? Is that his first thought, was to blame the people that was stealing food? The people that have been fucking, literally fucking, quarantined in a famine zone? He's going to blame them? Wait a minute.
Stealing weapons, they're stealing everything. It's a mess. That whole place is a mess.
Caused by fucking who? You degenerate fuck.
The Gaza Strip, was given many years ago so that they could have peace. That didn't work out too well. When Israel gave that up, whoever was the prime minister at the time, who I know who it was, but it was not exactly a very clever thing to do, because that was given so that they finally have peace, and it's actually made the situation worse. But we'll see what happens. I think Iran is acting up. I think that we have a lot of people acting.
Oh, wait a minute. So you still don't have peace, is what you're saying? Are you still not? You're still not assured? You're not here to assure the people of an ongoing peace in the Middle East because of the actions that you took? Man, I see. If I was to listen to Twitter or MAGA or you, I would be led to believe that you somehow, or again, even though Kushner, your son-in-law did it the first administration, as they'd want us to fucking believe, was responsible for peace in the Middle East. I thought that's what you wanted us to believe here.
We have Venezuela acting up in a different way. They continue to send people that we rebuff to our border. They continue to send drugs into our country.
They do continue. They continue to drugs, everybody.
Venezuela.
Best words and all. Come on. It should. Oh, there it is.
Words. I have the best words. But there's no better word than stupid. I know words. I have the best words. But there's no better word than stupid.
Yeah, they've been very nasty, and we can't let that happen.
Did he say it was Venezuela? Are you sure? Was it?
Did you just see Maduro? Venezuela. It's unbelievable. But we
I guess Venezuela's making what? Massive
Call them
dumps?
dumps, big, massive dumps.
They're still making massive dumps of people, apparently coming from where?
Venezuela. Did you just see Maduro?
give other countries too. We do have, and this is just getting a little off subject, but we have now the safest border we've ever had. And I think in many respects, we probably have the most successful. And I say it all the time. Every leader, when I went to NATO the other day, every leader said, "You're the hottest country in the world." We have the hottest.
Jesus Christ. Fucking President Paris Hilton. Yeah, everybody. President 97-year-old male Paris Hilton. Now, does anybody honestly believe that anybody involved in NATO in any regard use the words hot or hottest when referring to the United States? Anybody? Any takers? No, didn't think so.
Country in the world now. We're taking in hundreds of billions of dollars. We have the highest stock market we've ever had. We have the best numbers we've ever had.
I'm surprised he hasn't said
Obama.
I'm surprised that hasn't come up yet, because usually in any press conference in the last few days, he's really quick to bring up,
Obama.
But we have hundreds of billions of dollars pouring into our country. And I think it's the hottest. And by the way, 1 year ago, our country was dead. We had a dead country.
You didn't know this, did you, folks? You didn't know this. Yep, Donald Trump gave you mouth-to-mouth resuscitation. Sorry.
Because of an incompetent president and incompetent.
We all know that wouldn't happen. The United States is much too old for Donald Trump to even consider putting his lips on.
Democrats, all they know how to do is talk and think about conspiracy theories and nonsense. If they'd waste their time talking about America being great again, it would be so much nicer, so much easier.
Fat,
be very
sloppy
successful.
United States.
But we were a dead country, and now we have the hottest country anywhere in the world. Yeah. Any other question?
President Trump, on this particular deal, if you manage to do a deal today, will that be the end of the matter, or could there be more tariffs coming, particularly on fires?
No, if we do a deal today with the European Union, that will be the end of it. Yeah, we'll go, I guess, a number of years at least before we have to even discuss it again. No, that would be the end of it. And this is the biggest deal. People don't realize this is bigger than any other deal. We have great countries. I'm familiar with many of them. So are you. And
how many countries? How many countries is that? How many countries do we have, sir? Can you name
You're
it?
a nation that just recently heard that Saudi Arabia and Russia will repeat your.
This is really the biggest deal. This is I guess we're the biggest out there, and they're the second. And when we come together, this will be the biggest deal. If that happens, and it could happen, should happen. Okay? Thank you.
Will pharmaceuticals be part of today's?
No, it won't. Pharmaceuticals will be, could be, we'll do something, but basically pharmaceuticals won't be part of it.
Right. So even if we get it done, probably the thing that everybody's looking at the most, that's not going to be part of the deal.
Because we have to have them made in the United States, and we want them made in the United States. And I think it's easy to say.
Where do you want those made?
The big, fat, sloppy United States.
All right, just wanted you to clarify.
And I think it's important to say pharmaceuticals are very special. We can't be in a position.
Pharmaceuticals are very special. Okay.
Where we're relying on other countries. Now, Europe is going to make pharmaceuticals, drugs, and everything else for us too, a lot. But we're going to have also our own.
A question for President Mullen.
Yes.
Can you give your assessment of what you feel the chances are of deal? The president just talked about a 50-50 chance, and the biggest obstacle being fairness. What would you say are those things for you?
I think the president is right. We have a 50 to 50% chance to strike a deal. And indeed, it is about rebalancing.
Isn't that not good? It's 50-50? Like 50% we could, 50% we couldn't? We might not? Like, isn't that not good? Like, if I got a 50 on a test in high school, that's not good, right? 50, like, if I had a 50% chance of living, I wouldn't be too enthralled with that. I think I would want more on that. But that's just me, right? I don't know.
So you can call it fairness, you can call it rebalancing. We have a surplus. The United States has a deficit, and we have to rebalance it. We have an excellent trade relation. It's a huge volume of trade that we have together. So we will make it more.
I almost feel like that the people in this room were kind of coached or asked to keep the questions directly about this. I'm going to skip just a little bit ahead. See if there's any other good questions coming out of here. See if he was asked about Epstein at all. I haven't seen any of this, so I apologize if you have.
He's doing a very good job, by the way.
Also on Gaza, sir, did you speak with Prime Minister Netanyahu this weekend about getting more aid to Gaza?
I talked to him, yeah, I did. I talked to him about a lot of things. I talked to him about Iran. I think Iran's been very nasty.
All right, well, the question was more aid into Gaza. Had nothing to do with Iran. Keep your fucking addled mind here, your addled brain on track with what the fucking question was, Gramps.
The words with their mouth. I think they've been very nasty. They got the hell knocked out of them, and I don't think they know it. You know, I actually don't think they know it. They really do. The whole thing's a con job. We have a lot of con jobs going on. But
I'm actually surprised now that you say that, Bob. Thinking about where he is now and his issue with windmills, I'm surprised he hasn't brought this up already. Because wasn't that like one of the first things he said when he was getting on the plane to go was like, rock on windmills, rock on windmills, Europe, what are you doing, windmills? I'm surprised he hasn't brought that up so far.
But Iran was beaten up very badly for good reason. We cannot have them have a nuclear weapon. But they still talk about enrichment. I mean, who would do that? You just come out of something.
Wait, whoa. I thought you killed that whole thing. I thought it was dead as a doornail. I thought there was a thing that we didn't have to worry about no longer. I thought that was promised to us that was something that was destroyed, beyond recognition. It was destroyed. It would take them God knows how many lifetimes in order to do that again. And now what? It seems like you're already worried. It seems like you're already worried about it again. So it wasn't even, you didn't even set them back 3 months. Seems like you set them back, 31 days or something? Jesus Christ.
That's so bad. And they talk about, we want to continue enrichment. Who would say that? How stupid can you be to say that? So we're not going to allow that to happen. We're not allowing that to happen.
Did you talk about more aid into Gaza?
Yeah. About the question that I asked you again, can you remember it, A? And B, can you answer it?
Will I do more aid? Yeah. The U.S.?
No, she's asking you if when you talk to Benjamin Netanyahu, if you talk to him about sending more aid into Gaza. You helpless fucking fool. Jesus Christ.
The U.S. is going to do more aid for Gaza, but we'd like to have other.
That's not what she asked, Grandpa.
Countries participate. We're going to mention that to the European Union today. That's an international problem. It's not a U.S. problem. It's an international problem.
Which is why she asked you if in your discussions with the genocidal madman that is now, making this a possibility, that is now causing this situation, if you, I don't know, maybe brought up having more aid get into Gaza in those talks. That was the question.
And we're giving a lot of money and a lot of food and a lot of everything. If we weren't there, I think people would have starved.
They are starving. Holy shit. Holy shit. Holy fucking shit. Holy fucking shit. Holy fucking shit. Holy fucking shit. They are starving. Jesus Christ. All right. And I know you guys, we've all played this on the show. Let's see here. Yeah, I'll just click on the first one that comes up here. All right. NPR, doctors warn that children in Gaza have suffered irreversible damage from starvation. Right, Patty Ann. Correct. Closing down USAID. I mean, what to imagine having the fucking lack of awareness or just the lack of compassion or just the lack of decency to say something like this. Are you shitting me?
It's not a U.S. problem. It's an international problem. And we're giving a lot of money and a lot of food and a lot of everything. If we weren't there, I think people would have starved, frankly.
You fucking, I can't even explain to you how much that makes my blood boil. Right? Like, can you be that out of touch? Can your advisors literally be that shit at their job where they, like, you're not that informed? Like, you can, there's no way he can be that uninformed as the president of the United States as to what's going on right now. So for him to be like, well, if we weren't there, people might have starved. The fucking fastest starvation in modern history perpetrated by Israel against the Palestinian people. And this motherfucker's talking about like people would have starved. What an absolute fucking twat bag. Wow.
They would have starved. And it's not like they're eating well, but a lot of that food.
Wow. Like, that's almost fucking too disgusting for me to like blow up at. Like, imagine, and I know the video stopped, and I apologize that the video's like, it keeps stopping like that, but listen to this one more time. It's not like they're eating well, he says.
Weren't there, I think people would have starved, frankly. They would have starved. And it's not like they're eating well, but a lot of that food is getting stolen by Hamas.
After all of the stories, after all the reports and the confirmations of Israel themselves not allowing aid trucks through, after all the stories, reports, and confirmations of Israel and the IDF literally mowing people down coming to get food, he again just has no other option, no other switch in his brain other than Israeli propaganda. Like, yeah, stoled, Monica, right. Good English. He's got good English there. Best words. Best words. And these are the people, like, it's amazing to me that we find ourselves in a position where these are the people that now hold the power. These are the people that now say who gets to live and die, who gets food and who doesn't.
You know, they're stealing the food. They're stealing a lot of things. You ship it in and they steal it. Then they sell it.
On Friday, you said that Europe is being crushed by mass migration. And I wonder whether your friends on this side of the room agree with you on that.
Well, I'd let you respond to that if you'd like.
So we have been working.
Question is whether or not Ursula believes Donald Trump's statements that Europe is being crushed under the weight of immigration. So she's been asked to respond to, I guess, Trump's statements on this.
Intensively on the topic of irregular migration. And we have, from the very beginning, said that migration is a European challenge that needs a European answer. As Europeans, we will fulfill our international obligations as we've done in the past, also in the future. But we as Europeans are the ones who decide who comes to the European Union and under what circumstances, and not the smugglers and traffickers. That's the principle in which we are working.
Sorry.
All right, and just to kind of reiterate, why my frustrations are so high when Donald Trump again, and I'm sure you guys know, I don't have to explain it to you, but just in case there are people that are not, hip to this situation, are not, informed as to what's been going on here and who's kind of perpetrated it. Israel blocked over 250,000 aid trucks from entering Gaza in 1 year of genocide. So when he says, when he's talking about that, it's Hamas stealing the food. Is it an issue? I'm sure, absolutely. Is it the main issue? Or are there other circumstances now being perpetrated by Israel to heighten, to make the starving, to make the suffering of the Palestinian people exponentially worse than it would be under, say, just the leadership of Hamas, right? So again, just to kind of reiterate as to the ridiculousness of Donald Trump's statements, his claims, his Israeli propaganda, you look no further than to Israel's actions over the course of this war. Sorry, let me put this back on the screen for you guys. My apologies.
This, they did ask me when I got off the plane. Immigration, Europe has a tremendous problem, and we do too, but we've sealed our borders. We have nobody coming in, and we have hundreds of thousands of people being taken out, and the bad ones first. And I think we're doing a very good job of.
Again, the bad ones first. Range has been given anywhere from 70 to 90% of the people that have been rounded up by ICE either have no or minimal criminal records. Let me just repeat that. 60 Minutes actually did a report that somewhere, what did they say, 75? And I think their report was just people sent to CCOT. But I think somewhere between 75 and 80% of the people sent there had zero criminal record. And wider reports have been done in totality of the people that ICE has arrested. And not only that, but we just, hey, Tiff, on the other show, covered that Donald Trump was flying back into the country, a triple murderer in a prisoner swap with Venezuela. So not only are we not deporting the worst of the worst, we're actually importing back the worst of the worst.
But we had, it literally registered 0 people last month. You probably saw that. Nobody.
Yeah, maybe Europe should just, get their entire fucking military, the military of all the countries, all the nations in totality. And maybe they should just line them up on all of the borders, similar to how we had to do in the United States to our southern wall, even though we built a wall that was promised to work, but the wall wasn't finished, but the wall stole money from MAGA themselves, even though Steve Bannon was arrested on a Chinese billionaire's yacht for stealing their money. But again, they still love him.
And Europe has a very similar problem. I think they're going to end up in the same place. You might as well go there quicker. And the other thing I say,
literally the last thing we need is Donald Trump sticking his tiny little fucking fingers, his tiny little fucking hands, ladies and gentlemen. His
the rest of my life, I have the curse that I have little hands. Little hands. Referred to my hands. If they're small, something else must be small.
Hey, you got a little chubby going there.
Donald Trump's tiny hands anywhere near immigration policies in Europe, right? The last fucking thing we need is that happening.
To Europe, we will not allow a windmill to be built in the United States.
I knew it. I fucking knew it. He could not go this entire time without bringing up a windmill. I fucking knew it. I'm surprised he didn't do it sooner. I'm surprised he waited this long. He actually made it an hour and 15 minutes into this. Without mentioning windmills, before he mentioned a windmill. But all right, Donald, take it away. Tell us how you hate windmills again. What's going on?
I think they're going to end up in the same place. You might as well go there quicker. And the other thing I say to Europe, we will not allow a windmill to be built in the United States. They're killing us. They're killing the beauty of our scenery, our valleys, our beautiful plains. And I'm not talking about airplanes. I'm talking about beautiful plains, beautiful areas in the United States. And you look up.
The beautiful plains. What are the chances he was actually talking about airplanes flying into windmills and then was like, yeah, I think that's a road too fucking, I think that's a bridge too far for even me. Because a man that can't say the word yesterday.
Yesterday is a hard word for me.
Probably shouldn't be talking about, I don't know, the science behind windmills. Just saying. I don't know.
And you see windmills all over the place. It's a horrible thing. It's the most expensive form of energy.
It's a horrible thing.
It's no good.
Why don't you go to Holland? Hey, Trump, why don't you take a fucking side trip to Holland, right? Go over there and then tell me what they think about your anti-windmill stance. Just saying.
Made in China, almost all of them.
Except for the shitload that are made in Germany and other places.
They start to rust and rot in 8 years. You can't really turn them off. You can't bury them. They won't let you bury the propellers.
Talking about you can't turn them off. We had 2 in the town that I lived in decommissioned and taken down because they were past their life expectancy. What the fuck are you talking about? They lasted the entire time, actually passed their life expectancy, did what they needed to do. They were decommissioned, taken down. What's the fucking issue here?
You know, the props, because there's a certain type of fiber that doesn't go well with the land. That's what they say. The environmentalists say you can't bury them.
A what? I'm sorry. Run that one by me again there, sir. What was that?
Because
hold on. What? The fiber? What the fuck does what?
Propellers, you know, the props, because there's a certain type of fiber that doesn't go well with the
propellers. They're not propellers, you fucking idiot. They don't propel the windmill. Oh my God. And is he trying to talk about carbon fiber, or is he talking about fiberglass in general? Because he does know what boats are made out of, right? Typically. And we seemingly, are able to build and destroy those. Wow. One more time. Hold on.
land. That's what they say.
I need that again. From the top, Donnie. One more time. What are you talking about?
Of them. When they start to rust and rot in 8 years, you can't really turn them off. You can't bury them. They won't let you bury the propellers, the props, because there's a certain type of fiber that doesn't go well with the land. That's what they say. The
fucking propellers. The fucking propellers. Is this like the shocks and the batteries? Hold on. Can we do a flashback? Hold on. Trump, boats, batteries, shocks. Can we just a little fucking flashback? Take us back to a little trip down memory lane here. Is this what we're talking about here? Hold on.
So I said, let me ask you a question. And he said, nobody ever asked this question. And it must be because of MIT, my relationship to MIT. Very smart. He goes, I say, what would happen if the boat sank from its weight and you're in the boat and you have this tremendously powerful battery and the battery's now underwater and there's a shark that's approximately 10 yards over there. By the way, a lot of shark attacks lately. Do you notice that? A lot of shark. I watched some guys justifying it today. Well, they weren't really that angry. They bit off the young lady's leg because of the fact that they were not hungry, but they misunderstood who she was. These people are crazy. He said there's no problem with sharks. They just didn't really understand a young woman swimming now really got decimated, and other people too. A lot of shark attacks. So I said, so there's a shark 10 yards away from the boat, 10 yards, or here. Do I get electrocuted? If the boat is sinking, water goes over the battery, the boat is sinking. Do I stay on top of the boat and get electrocuted? Or do I jump over by the shark and not get electrocuted? Because
fucking hell. I can't even listen to it anymore. You get dumber by the second. The more you listen to that, the fucking dumber you get. Holy shit. Holy shit. All right, so now that guy is saying what about the windmills?
Environmentalists say you can't bury them because the fiber doesn't go well with the land. In other words, if you bury it, it will harm our soil. The whole thing is a con job.
Oh, I can't get over the propellers. The propellers to the fan. typically called blades in this situation, but Oh, wow. Wowie's out. All right, we're running out of time here. I don't want to make this guy the entire show. I apologize. That was just a little bit of Donald Trump with the president of the EU, Ursula von der Leyen. I believe, was that this morning or yesterday? I think it was this morning. Oh, just good shit. All right, what else did we have to cover? Let me see what else I can get into here. What other trouble we can get into. I appreciate you guys. Make sure you hit the like button. I'm Boston Brian. This is Blunt Politics, again, the political podcast to sift through the propaganda and the lies of Donald Trump, the Republicans, the mainstream media, so we can break it down for the normal individuals, the everyday citizens of this country, who are the ones that are affected by the policies, right? Let's just see here. We got a couple things we get into. There's like I said, a couple Forbes stories about Trump's polling. Why don't we take a look at this? This is a Forbes. Again, Mark Wayne Mullen was on with Jake Tapper to embarrass the shit out of himself once again and to simp for pedophiles. But we're going to take a look at just his accounting here, because I believe Jake Tapper hits him with a good little montage. Pam Bondi and her words as it pertains to the Epstein files and what she would do. But here's just a little bit of, shameless Mark Wayne Mullen again on with Jake Tapper to simp for pedophiles, I guess. Let's see what he had to say in this instance here.
It's interesting to me, though, Jake, that for the last 4 years underneath President Biden, not one Democrat asked for the files to be released. Now they're all about transparency.
Not sure that's the truth. I can absolutely recall the left continuing to call for the release of the Epstein files, if not at least to continue to attack Donald Trump with that information, right? Oh, thank you, Nordez. Let's fucking go. Appreciate that. And you, Kimchi. And you. I seen you, Kimchi. And thank you so much, Nordez. I appreciate that with the 10 gifted. You guys can gift memberships or sign up yourselves for a membership just underneath me. 1 click, maybe 2 at the most. Less than a gallon of gas, less than a gallon of milk. You can help out a lot of people or yourself. I appreciate it. Thank you so much, Nordez. Yeah, this guy's fucking just all over the place, Veronica, lately. Just simping and defending and doing everything he possibly can to make himself look like an asshole, apparently. And not only that, make it so that in the future we have just a variety, an ample amount of clips that we could play to suggest, or at least, give our examples as to when we say Republicans love protecting pedophiles. We have a ton of clips as to back our theory up here. So let's continue.
But yet President Trump is the most transparent president we've had. I mean,
okay, Mark, you get one of these just for that dumb statement?
Go fuck yourself.
Because that's fucking ridiculous.
Look, you wrote the book literally on the biggest cover-up from the Biden administration, the cover-up that the previous administration covered completely for President Biden the whole time he was in office. So transparency is what we're all about.
Oh, see? Fucking Jake right there having to take it in the face from a Republican, having to take the praise for having written the book on the biggest conspiracy about Joe Biden. Right. So Tapper can get fucked. I'm just saying what this clip is about us looking at Mark Wayne Mullen again, having absolutely no shame and going on the camera, going on television to again simp for pedophiles and to protect the criminals in this ring. So fuck Jake, but that's a side note.
But the Democrats are trying to distract from their awful record and from the questions they need to ask, like who was signing the executive orders as an auto pen? Who was actually choosing to continue to run the Russian gate when we know it was a huge hoax? Who was making the decisions at the White House? And they can't answer that, so they're deciding to run a distraction by this Epstein file when it's a big hoax.
The hypocrisy, the insane and utter and blatant hypocrisy to go on national television and talk about obfuscation and to talk about distractions and distraction attempts, as we are now clearly embroiled, clearly in the middle of one of, if not the biggest government cover-up, the biggest government conspiracy to protect and cover up for pedophiles, one that is now president of the United States, that we have seen in our lifetimes at least, if not in the history of this country. And the fucking distraction attempts, ones that he is literally on TV right now trying to distract away from Donald Trump and Jeffrey Epstein. He is on television, on CNN with Jake Tapper. The only fucking reason is to distract, is to amplify this Obama story that they're trying to fucking peddle here, right? And to distract from Donald Trump's involvement with Jeffrey Epstein and the conspiracy and cover-up that is now being undertaken by the United States government. And he is sitting there literally talking about distractions And now, if we could write a book, you know, he wants to talk about writing books. I would write a book on hypocrisy, and on the first fucking chapter, on the first page, would be fucking Mark Wayne Mullen. Thank you, Kim Chi. Appreciate that. Great to see you. Appreciate you being here for so long. Thank you for your support. Make sure everybody's hitting that like button. Thank you, guys.
Folks, and the American people know it because they never said a word about it when Biden was in office.
But let's just take a.
And who was in office before that, Mark? Mark, there was a like a 4-year administration before that. Fat guy, ties to Russia. What was his name? Fucking con man, fraudster, known in New York. We'll think of it. We'll think.
Step back here. The reason that we're here where we are is because for years, President Trump and the MAGA base and Trump's allies have been calling for the release of the Epstein files. And then after taking office, take a listen to what Attorney General Pam Bondi has been saying over the course of the past few months. Take a listen.
What you're going to see, hopefully tomorrow, is a lot of flight logs, a lot of names.
Everything's going to come out to the public. The public has a right to know. Americans have a right to know.
There are tens of thousands of videos of Epstein with children.
Now the administration is saying they can't release this information. Now, I understand you're talking about a resolution you offered calling for the grand jury to release transcripts from the grand jury investigation into Epstein and Ghislaine Maxwell, and a judge said no. But
now pay attention to this moment, because this is the little clip that I did see from this interaction in which Mark Wayne Mullen does his best to try to lie about how the processes and the way that our judicial system works and what information can and can't be released, after we just heard Pam Bondi tell us that she had the information and she also had the ability to release it. Now let's listen to Mark Wayne Mullen again, try to not only distract, but also defend the government conspiracy, which is now engaged in a covering up for pedophiles, one that is now president of the United States. Mark Wayne Mullen doing his best on CNN to, amplify the distraction. So take it away with your obfuscations, Mark.
There's troves of information that the administration could release tomorrow if they wanted to, and they've been promising to, and they haven't.
Oh, Jake, that's not true. You know better than that too, because you know every piece of file that they have, every video, every document, every flight log has all been heard by a grand jury. They've all been seen by a grand jury, and we want the judges to release it. Pam Bondi has called on the.
So again, just to kind of set this up a little bit for this argument, he's now trying to get us to believe, and he's now lying directly to Jake Tapper and trying to get him to believe that anything that was seen by the judge in this grand jury testimony, now makes it so that any information in this case can only be released by the judge, which obviously we know isn't the case. There are some cases in which the judge is the only one that can release, I believe, some more specific information as it pertains to the grand jury testimony. But this does not take away from the information that the FBI and the DOJ already have in their possessions and the ability they have to release it. Right? So he's now trying to conflate two different things in order to, again, protect Donald Trump, who is, again, engaged in the biggest cover-up of pedophilia and engaged in the biggest cover-up of the biggest sex trafficking ring involving children in our nation's history.
The judges release it. Trump has called on them to release it, and the Congress has called on them to release it. But we can't, because there is a true co-equal branches of government, so we can't force the judicial branch to do anything. All we can do is ask him.
No, because it seems like Donald Trump's really pretty quick on forcing the judicial system to do what it wants when, say, it puts out an order stopping one of Donald Trump's unconstitutional and illegal immigration policies, or any one of his other policies. If a lower district court rules against him, he's very quick to say that, that judge shouldn't be saying what he could do, that the judge doesn't have the authority, and that only Donald Trump has the authority. Only Donald Trump's administration has the authority. So it's funny how those roles have reversed. It's funny how the rhetoric has changed in that situation.
I'm not talking about that the judges would release it.
I'm not talking about the grand jury stuff.
There isn't, Jake, there isn't one piece of document that Kash Patel at the FBI or Pam Bondi in her office has that a grand jury hasn't seen. So everything that they have,
she was talking about releasing this information
by the judges.
everything, you hear what he just said, everything that either Kash Patel or Pam Bondi has, whether it be between the FBI, the DOJ, has to be signed off and released by a judge only now. That's what Mark Wayne Mullen is trying to get us to believe.
She was talking about releasing this information. She could release it tomorrow. She doesn't.
She was, but she can't. No, she can't release it until the judges release it. Because if it's been heard by a grand,
she's literally been on camera telling us she has the power to do so and that she was going to release the information. So again, you're being thwarted. Your argument is being thwarted by the words, by the fucking verbatim rhetoric of the person that you're not trying to defend.
Jury, and Jake, you know this. If it's been,
and again, he keeps saying, Jake, you know this, hoping that Jake will be like, either, won't combat him on this, or at least kind of be a little more willing to go along with it now that he's kind of like trying to heap praise on him for for having knowledge about this situation.
Heard by a grand jury, regardless if Pam Bondi has it or the FBI has it, the judge that overseen the case that the grand jury listened to and saw the documentation and the evidence has to be released by the judge. And you know that.
I don't think that that's correct. I think that the FBI and the Southern District of New York and the...
Yeah, Stephen, I actually had to change my title on Twitch because it wouldn't let me say that the president was pardoning or, at least thinking about pardoning a predator and pedophile. So clearly they don't want the actual truth out there, because I don't see anything really egregious or wrong or not factual about that statement at all whatsoever, especially after Todd Blanche's meeting with Ghislaine Maxwell, especially after Donald Trump wishing Ghislaine Maxwell well, especially after Donald Trump's long-lasting best friendship with Jeffrey Epstein, especially after his multiple times in the flight logs, especially after we know that the DOJ was concealing over 4,725 wire transfers, including over $1.5 billion in transfers from Jeffrey Epstein's bank accounts, especially after we know that Donald Trump was sending love letters and drawings to Jeffrey Epstein. Jeffrey Epstein went to Donald Trump's wedding with Marla Maples. Should we continue?
Southern District of Florida, and because something has been shown before a grand jury, that doesn't mean it is only going to be. It can only be released to the public by a judge. If the FBI has it, they can release it.
Then why did the judge refuse to release the records in Florida? Because once it's been heard in the case, it is a sealed case. It is sealed by the grand jury. And you have been through this. I don't know why we're even debating this, because
Jake's he's right on what he says. That's pertaining to the testimony in that grand jury, right?
If it is considered evidence in a case, then it is sealed.
The information that has been released.
Bring a separate judge on and ask them the same question.
Grand jury hearings and transcripts, the judge has control over. Absolutely. That doesn't mean that everything that went into the grand jury is therefore locked from the public. That's
right, which is the important part of this. What Mark Wayne Mullen wants you to believe is that we are now completely locked out of this. It is out of the hands of Pam Bondi. It is out of the hands of Kash Patel. It is out of the hands of Dan Bongino. It is out of the hands of Donald Trump. The only ones that we can now focus on, the people that we should be mad at, are the judges in these cases that are refusing to release this information, when in reality, Pam Bondi has every fucking ability, has the legal rights and the information in her possession to release it, as she's told us multiple times on camera before, right? When she said, remember all this? I think it was right here. Here we go.
See, hopefully tomorrow is
hopefully tomorrow. That's funny. How could she possibly have it out by tomorrow if it could only be released by a judge? Let's see.
What you're going to see hopefully tomorrow is a lot of flight logs, a lot of names.
Wow, that's funny. That's funny, because it's seemingly, what was the date on that one? This was what, July 27th, 2025. No, that can't be right. Oh, excuse me, February 26th here on the top right. February 26th, this is Pam Bondi, ladies and gentlemen. One more time, just for clarity, just to make sure we can fucking drill this into the minds of people that, may not be as involved.
The past few months, take a listen.
What you're going to see hopefully tomorrow is a lot of flight logs, a lot of names.
Hopefully tomorrow, said on February 26th, hopefully tomorrow is a lot of the names in the flight logs. So information, evidence in this case that Pam Bondi had in her possession, that she had the ability to release, cut to fucking this guy. Cut to Mark Wayne Mullen, more obfuscating. Here we go.
Because once it's been heard in a case, it is a sealed case. It is sealed by the grand jury. And you have been through this. I don't know why we're even debating this, because if it is considered evidence.
Because I don't think you're correct, Jake.
In a case, then it is sealed.
The information that has been released.
Bring a separate judge on and ask him the same question.
Grand jury hearings and transcripts, the judge has control over. Absolutely. That doesn't mean that everything that went into the grand jury is therefore locked from the public. It does not work that way. And that's why Attorney General Bondi was saying for months. Well, then tell me why for months she was saying that she's going to release the information tomorrow.
Oh, got him. Got him. You see that little fucking holy pause. Jesus Christ. The 3 seconds heard around the world. Let me see if I can get this. Oh, one more time for you.
We made
Ready?
this.
Ready? Let's get that pause again. Check this pause out.
And that's why Attorney General Bondi
if the
was
case
saying
is
for
sealed.
months. Well, then tell me why for months she was saying that she's going to release the information tomorrow.
Oh, I didn't fucking prepare that far. Oh shit, I didn't think about that one, Jake. Give me a second. What did Kennedy do? Kennedy, I think the thing in my ear is really loud. I'm just gonna go silent for a couple minutes.
We made the assumption that the judge would release the order and allow.
Oh, she assumed. She was making an assumption when she said that tomorrow you would have the shit that I was going to release, that I have on my desk, that was reviewed and ready to go. That's what she, that must be what she meant, guys. That must be what she meant. Can you believe that shit? Right? Can you fucking believe that shit? The balls. Like, you have family, dude. Like, aren't you thinking about your family? Like, when your children have children, and people are still going to be talking about that period in time in which fucking Republican politicians just fucking threw their, like, their respect, their self-respect in the garbage and went on TV time and time again to protect pedophiles and to fucking defend Jeffrey Epstein and to defend Pam Bondi and Donald Trump from releasing what would be probably the most pertinent information, the most pertinent evidence released in the last, I don't know, fucking couple decades, on the highest profile case that a lot of us have fucking known in our lifetimes. Good grief. All right, 20 more minutes. Let's see what other trouble we can get into here, ladies and gentlemen. Let me see here. That one we did. Let me just see if we can show this quick one here as well. I'm going to stop this, open that, share this tab instead.
Performing on the biggest stage in the world was just...
My apologies. Let me switch that because some reason it goes to my other profile. I wonder how I can switch that.
I do not want to
All
make
right,
it.
so this is a video titled "Shut Up."
Complete.
Good Lord, lady. A new poll has brutal news for Trump on Jeffrey Epstein. And this is just a quick 1 minute, 39-second clip from Forbes. I'm curious what they're going to be explaining to us here as it pertains to the bad news that Donald Trump is receiving from polls, at least, about Jeffrey Epstein. Let's see if we can get into this.
Left turn here and talk about someone who's been dominating the headlines over the past couple of weeks, and that's Jeffrey Epstein. His relationship with President Donald Trump is under renewed scrutiny, and a memo released by the DOJ in early July, which said there is no client list. Epstein did die by suicide, and the DOJ won't release additional documents pertaining to the Epstein files, was really met with.
And again, I have no idea what show this is. I have no idea who this is. I have no clue what their politics are. I just saw the headline and thought we could get some pertinent information. So let's just check it out.
Harsh criticism. How do people think that the White House and the Trump administration at large has handled the Jeffrey Epstein story and case?
Yeah, Brittany, and this is where some of that bad news on the policy side only gets worse. So when we ask folks whether they approve or disapprove of how the administration has handled the Jeffrey Epstein case, 51%, a majority, disapprove, only 16% approve.
Who the fuck are the 16% that approve of Donald Trump's handling of the Jeffrey Epstein files? Can anybody explain to me that one? Who are those 16%? Like, that's even lower than the normal, what is it, usually like 20 to 30%, 25 to 30% that Donald Trump can continuously count on as his, like, fucking, you know, the base of his support, right? Can he usually count on about, let's say, anywhere between 20 and 30% of the cult, right, to vote for him. So that's even less than that. So even half of his cult aren't buying it. You know, if we are to believe the numbers historically as to the number of people that support him regardless. So that's pretty fucking wild.
If we look a little bit further down in those numbers, only 32%.
Oh yeah, Patui. I haven't checked in on him in a while. I haven't seen. Usually he flows through my my algorithm. I'll get sent a bunch of videos from him, but I haven't seen him in a while. Is he on like hiatus? Is he still doing it? We'll have to check in on him. Maybe we'll pull up a couple clips of him for next show and see how he's getting on with this whole Epstein thing. That's good pick. Good pick. I appreciate that.
Of Republicans explicitly approve of how Donald Trump has handled the Jeffrey Epstein investigation and the files.
All right, I think that's pretty much all they're getting into.
56% of independents disapprove. Obviously, an overwhelming majority of Democrats also disapprove. But there are very few gaps here. I think that's really that's the point I want to drive home. Nearly everyone disapproves of how the administration has handled this. Again, this is really, really bad news. I think for the administration, especially, even if Donald Trump himself is still above water, some of these other folks in the administration could really catch.
Do you see that video on screen that I'm looking at of General Mark Kelly? Should we click that and see what that?
Let me ask you about a big international issue, the starvation crisis in Gaza, a man-made crisis. Overnight, the government of Israel said that they will begin to open additional humanitarian corridors for the purpose of getting additional aid into Gaza. We've obviously been seeing these horrific images of Palestinian children.
And I guess I should probably, before we jump into that, just kind of get into this story here, right? This actually might even be the same video here. So I'll share this tab instead, just so we can kind of get into the actual news story before you get into the video of it. Israel announces pausing on some fighting and airdrops resume as fury grows over starvation in Gaza. Let me just see here. It tells you basically what they're covering, what to look for, what to expect here. So this is a tactical pause, they're calling, in fighting. The IDF announced a tactical pause in military activity today in some areas of Gaza. So don't be fooled. Don't think this is a total pause, a total tactical pause. The move has been welcomed by the UN, though humanitarian workers warned short notice aid windows may not be enough to save suffering Palestinians. Aid corridors, the Israeli military said designated secure routes will also be set up to enable UN and aid agency convoys to deliver food and medicine across Gaza. We've heard that before, right? We've heard that before, though, ladies and gentlemen. And again, I'm not there. This is heaping no praise on Israel whatsoever, not even fucking remotely, not even in the least bit. This is me reporting the news, and this is me preparing to watch and see how this plays out before we actually give our take, or before we actually give our opinions on the actions of Israel, at least as it pertains to this action, right? So absolutely no fucking flowers being thrown here. Your words don't mean shit. Your secure routes don't mean shit. We've heard that all before. Your fucking aid sites don't mean shit unless you're not going to fucking throw grenades into the crowd, unless you're not going to snipe women and children coming to get the food. The secure routes don't mean shit unless you're actually going to allow the aid trucks through. So that remains to be seen. 6 more Palestinians have died from starvation in the last 24 hours alone, bringing the total to at least 133 since October. Jordan and the UAE have dropped more aid into Gaza following Israel's airdrops yesterday. The method has been sharply criticized by the humanitarian groups as expensive, inefficient, and dangerous. What did we say? What did we say, right? So Gaza airdrops, a distraction, a smokescreen, I believe is what they meant to say, UNRWA head says. Let's see. Returning to the topic of airdrops, Gaza now, after CNN's early reporting on the UK's plan to move forward with deliveries in criticism of the practice from aid agencies, UNRWA head Philip Lazzarini, has just described these airdrops as a distraction and a smokescreen and pleaded with Israel to open the gates to trucks instead, which is the more efficient way to do things. Which is the more consistent way to do things, which is the less expensive way to do things, which means it's ultimately can be done for a longer period of time. Airdrops will not reverse the deepening starvations that are expensive, inefficient, and can even kill starving civilians, right? So when people are they see a drop site, and they see aid is being dropped into a specific site, they will congregate in that site. And when the aid starts raining down in fucking 100-pound packages or whatever the hell it is, that definitely has the ability to, again, strike people, killing them. So there are many ways in which this is dangerous. I've talked about this situation too. Let me just, we'll bring this up. Just to round it out. You know, guys, you know how much I love history. In my World War II facts, can sustain 6. All right. Let's see here. See what I can pull up just so we can go over real quick here. I'm looking for I will supply Stalingrad, he says. Yep. So let me share this tab instead with you guys. Put this on the screen. So just to show a little bit of the futility of airdrops, really. Stalingrad was surrounded by 284 German troops who were now isolated in the city, now known as the Cauldron. Also were cut off were around 10,000 civilians and several thousand Russian prisoners of war. Outside Stalingrad, it was apparent that the Germans had already suffered terrible losses in the battle to encircle the city. And then let's see if I go to the next one here. The closer I moved to Stalingrad, the more numerous were the German prisoners. The steppe was a fantastic sight full of dead horses, while some horses were only half dead, standing on 3 frozen legs and shaking the remaining broken one. It was pathetic. 10,000 horses had been killed during the Russian breakthrough. This goes on to explain here General Paulus of the 6th Army here, and how Hermann Goering said he was going to be able to supply this military, this army, with the amount of aid that they needed. On the 26th, he wrote to Field Marshal von Manstein that he was flown out of the pocket by Luftwaffe general. For 36 hours, I received no orders or information from a higher level. In a few hours, I was liable to be confronted with the following situation. So this is where he inevitably retreated. Inevitably gave up and surrendered. But again, this just goes to show the accounts of Goering and how he thought the airdrops, he would have no problem airdropping enough supplies, enough ammunition, enough food to sustain this military, to sustain this army, when it was just a ridiculous thought to begin with. It never even came close. I think like at the most, some days they got about 10% of the aid that they would have need to continue to sustain, right? So let's just see what Mark Kelly had to say here on this whole situation and the pause and what it means and what we actually need to see going forward in order for this to have any effect, positive effect.
Starving and suffering from malnutrition. I know you've been in close contact with Cindy McCain, the head of the UN World Food Program, who obviously is from Arizona. What is Cindy McCain telling you about the situation in Gaza? And are you satisfied with the latest news from Israel? And what do you think the United States should be doing?
Yeah, well, I talked to or text with Cindy, who is the head of the World Food Program, weekly. Even just this morning, I was sharing some information with her that we received from the Israeli embassy in Washington about what they plan to do. So I'm trying to help with the communication here. She's under a tremendous amount, her organization, a tremendous amount of stress and, just kind of dislocation of the resources that she had. The rescissions package that you mentioned with Russ Vought, cut money for UNICEF. The Doge cut.
So many different aspects to this, really, guys. And it's so hard. This is what it's so difficult about covering Trump's, presidencies, his administration, the volume of unconstitutional and illegal policies, the volume of incoherent, corrupt, and ignorant actions taken abroad. It's so hard. It's so fucking hard with the actions of Doge, with the 250,000 federal employees that have been fired or laid off. Like, it's so hard to narrow down and just, to pick apart every aspect that is harming our society right now, that is caused by this administration. So when you talk about the starvations, when you talk about the humanitarian aid disasters around the world, and then we go on to talk about how we cut funding to UNICEF, how we cut USAID, right? Like, we can just see how this compounds the problem. Like, these problems get exponentially worse because of the actions that we have taken previously. Again, like when you see like FEMA cuts, right? And then we go to talk about natural disasters and how FEMA's not able to do their jobs. They're not able to get into these areas like they once were, and to make sure that they can hand out the, you know, the vital aid and the resources that people need to at least stay alive or stay warm or have shelter, right? And then we go back and say, wow, why is that? Oh, because we cut fucking resources. We cut aid to FEMA. So you can directly trace the steps back to a policy, to an action taken by Donald Trump's fucking regime that had made these problems exponentially worse. As he's trying to pat the United States on the back for having, lended some hand, I guess, here, and in his mind, I guess, stop people from starving. And if you missed that part in the show, I definitely fucking would recommend you go back and check out the part where Donald Trump thinks that people aren't starving because of the United States.
That's cut somewhere around 40% of Cindy McCain's budget at the World Food Program. So weekly, she's trying to figure out where does she put resources to keep children alive. It is a horrible situation. And we should never see this kind of starvation across the planet for anybody, but to see it see kids starving. I've seen this personally in the DRC when I would travel there with Gabby about a decade ago. It is a horrific thing to see, and we have to do better. Her challenge is she often can't get the aid into Gaza. Now, the Israeli government says they're going to have this like temporary.
And no, what he's saying is they're having trouble getting the aid into Gaza because of the Israeli government, because of the IDF. The aid's there, the trucks are there, they're just not being allowed into Gaza to help these fucking people. That's the fucking problem. Just like we saw the exorbitant number of trucks that have been stopped by Israel so far, and how much aid was on those trucks, and how many people could have been helped by that aid if it was allowed through in the fucking proper time. Right? All right, so that was that, and there's just two more things that I kind of want to touch on before I say thank you to you guys, get you guys out of here for the day, allow you to enjoy the rest of your weekend. One was this, just to reiterate, this was a Mediaite article talking about Donald Trump keeping the door open to pardoning Ghislaine Maxwell. So I just wanted to dive into this real quick if I can. There's a little short clip that goes along with that plays the moment where Donald Trump actually tells everybody in a disjointed press gaggle Friday morning on the South Lawn that he actually has the power and the ability to do it if he wanted to, right? Let's see here if I can get this video to play. Here it is right here. Hopefully it's loud enough for you guys. Typically when I play clips on Twitter, it's just not loud enough. Let's see if I can turn that up, play this for you guys here. I'm going to go to it, see if that helps. So this has now been viewed over 7 million times. Well, if you're taking fucking this site's what it counts as a view into account. All right, this is where he says it. Here we go.
Would you consider a pardon or a commutation for Ghislaine Maxwell?
Would you consider a pardon or a commutation for Ghislaine Maxwell?
It's something I haven't thought about. It's really something I'm allowed to do it, but it's something I have not thought about.
He hasn't thought about it. He knows he's allowed to do it, but he hasn't thought about it. But he knows he's allowed to do it. Well, how would you know you're allowed to do it if you haven't thought about it? If you haven't inquired as to whether or not you have the ability or, can do it in her special circumstance, right? But he hasn't inquired about it, ladies and gentlemen. Hasn't talked about it. Hasn't even thought about it. Doesn't know what you're talking about, really. Doesn't know what you're talking about. But I just want to show you that clip in case you missed it, where he absolutely does keep the door open to pardoning, again, the ringleader or co-ringleader of this entire fucking scandal, of the entire fucking Jeffrey Epstein saga, right? Also, this clip here, again, where Mike Johnson, I don't know if you can see it on the screen here on the right-hand side, but Mike Johnson, let me get out of the way. There's a clip here on the right-hand side of stories that they were showing. Mike Johnson, hard no on Ghislaine Maxwell pardon as Trump keeps the door open, right? Unbelievable. This fucking administration just cannot in any way, shape, or form get on the same page. Can't get their lies straight. Again, this was something that I wanted to show here. I was kind of taken aback on this one. I wasn't really fucking sure that there was this many right-wing organizations involved with Project 2025. There's been a lot of talk and a lot of calls for people to, continue to expose Project 2025, the funders behind it, the organizations involved in it. in their plans that continue to work behind the scenes. And there were 110, or at least Project 2025 full list of organizations. This is on Newsweek if you want to take a look at it. More than 100 conservative organizations contributed to the proposals put forward by Project 2025. And this just gives a list here of the organizations, all 110 of them. From Young America's Foundation all the way to the 1792 Exchange, American Family Social, American Moment, Americans United for Life, Center for Immigration Studies, Coalition for Liberty, Eagle Forum, First Liberty, MacArthur Society of West Point Graduates, the Institute of Women's Health, Intercollegiate Studies Institute, Keystone Policy, Liberty University, Moms for Liberty, National Rifle Association, National Association of Scholars. So probably some surprising ones and some not so surprising ones on there. But again, we'll continue to make time on this show to continue exposing the works of Project 2025, the people behind it, the organizations that you should be staying away from, and more along those lines like that. Let me see here if I can now pull up this last thing. This is just the last thing I wanted to cover. We'll end it on a funny note if we can. This is a story of Joe Rogan cracking up at South Park's Trump micro penis clip, talking about how hilarious it is. And I only play this because you know damn well how much this is going to get into under Donald Trump's skin if and when he sees this, which he's gonna, which his team is gonna show him. But let me see if I can. I'm gonna get rid of this one, get rid of that one, get rid of that one, get rid of that one, and let's see if we can just take a look at the moment where Joe Rogan couldn't help himself. Don't they give a clip? No clip of it. I thought that was the whole point. Let's see here. Joe Rogan ended up a prey for South Park. Joe Rogan on Friday's Joe Rogan Experience. Can I click it, or am I going to get? Let's just see if we can. Let's see if we can play at least this clip here. Or does it not play it? All right, hold on. I'll have to find it on my own. I'll find it on my own. Find it on my own. Find it on my own. Let's see here. What are they? It's not on here yet? All right, let me see. All cracks up. All right, this might be it right here. See if I can share this tab instead. No, because this just takes you to the goddamn article. And then if it takes you to the article, you don't see the clip. What the fuck? All right, I'm going to get it. It shouldn't be that difficult, right? I mean, for Christ's sakes. Fucking biggest streamer on the planet. All right. Let me see. It's got to be on here. Rogan, Trump, micro penis. It's just funny typing in, really. It's got to be on here. Or is he like so strict with his? Oh no, here we go. Here's a little clip of it. I was gonna say, is he maybe too strict with his copyright? But no, here's a little clip for you guys to see. All right, let's just check out Joe Rogan, who's again supposed to be on Donald Trump's side, who again Donald Trump would love to think is on his side, laughing directly at Donald Trump's tiny micro penis. Take it away, Joe.
With Satan? No. It's fucking hilarious. I got it. I love the show. Is fantastic. I raised my 3 boys on that show, much to my wife's horror, but it's a great show. But I haven't seen that episode.
When you think, like Bridget Fedesi had a funny quote, like when you think that they have reached the bottom of the highest level of not giving a fuck, they reach unseen levels.
Hey, you got a little chubby
the whole
going
Epstein
there.
thing is so crazy.
Yeah.
Like, and him saying, like, what do you care? Why does everybody care about Epstein? Like,
well, that's it. Yeah, but it is. Look, I mean, although again, going back to South Park, once they
he's literally laughing right there at the fact that Donald Trump is trying to get people to talk about things other than the Epstein files. Again, people like Joe Rogan, Alex Jones, again, Charlie Kirk, Ben Shapiro, Steven Crowder, the list goes on, made their bones, or at least parts of their bones, by, again, calling out the government, calling for the answers to things like the Epstein files, to see the evidence, to hold people accountable. So now it's funny to see them try to do like this both sidesism while it's still trying to be like a defender of Donald Trump, but also recognizing that he's like engaged in a cover up, engaged in a conspiracy. Like, I don't know how you could lay down your head on your pillow at night and fucking match those two things up, or at least think about what you've done during the day and be like, yes, you know what? I'm good with what I said today. I am.
The Woodland Creatures episode all those years ago, you thought, okay, that's got to be the worst they can get.
Which one was
right?
the Woodland Creatures?
Oh my
one?
God, you got to look it up. It's fantastic. I'm not going to do it justice if I try to explain what it's about.
Well, remember when they did the gay teacher where you had a whore off with Paris Hilton? He stuffed her up his ass.
This is the other one.
Oh, God.
They're all cussing and.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
Oh, I forgot about that one. Yeah.
I was 17 years ago.
Yeah, they don't give a fuck, dude.
No.
They haven't given a fuck since the beginning, and it's the greatest show of all time.
Yeah. And honestly, if you said what would be the best job that you could have imagined, it would be being one of those two guys.
Yeah, they're killing it.
Yeah.
And the
All right, fucking settle down.
thing is, like, it's so beautiful because they have cartoons, and you could do things with cartoons you could never do with real people.
Yeah.
You can kill them. They can fuck each other. They can stick things up their ass.
Yeah.
Like,
Gets that
anything can
alien
happen.
probe. Yeah.
All right, so I think that's about all the commentary that we get there, but still funny to see Joe Rogan laughing directly at the expense of Donald Trump. And Mel and I, Mel brought up the fact that it was funny that South Park just used Donald Trump's kind of like real face as opposed to making him like too cartoonish, which made it all the more fucking better, I think. No, I haven't watched it in a long, long time. I did watch it religiously when it first came out, in like the first few seasons, but I tend to fade from shows. You know, I can't stick to a show because the plot always gets ridiculous and fucking people end up marrying and fighting and, you know, screwing the weirdest people that you would never think in the first couple seasons. I don't know. They just kind of, you can tell they run out of ideas at a certain point, but you know, I guess South Park's still going strong, but no, I don't watch it as much as I used to. All right, let's get into thanking people here. I'm already over time. I apologize. That was a little too much. Let me see if I can fly through the list. First off, I'm going to thank the people on Venmo because I always tend to forget the people on Venmo. So I want to do you guys first. Probably should phrase that a little differently next time. But I'm going to say thank you to the fantastic people such as Linda. Thank you so much. Thomas once again. Jamie once again. Laurie once again. Damon. And Linda again. Thank you so much. That's on top of JD's 10 amazing gifted memberships. Daph's 10 amazing gifted memberships. Just Julie's amazing membership for 11 months. Wes has been here for 15 months. Don't know why, but I like the Sunday shows the best. Well, I appreciate it, buddy. I appreciate it. It seems to be when the most people congregate here. But I would hope you guys continue to check out the rest of the shows that we do have because we have added a bunch of shows. If you're just joining us for the first time in a long time, we also do Tuesdays, Wednesdays, and Thursdays. So please check out all the shows. We are continuing our Zooms, so sign up at patreon.com. Our next VIP Zoom is coming up July 29th, so 2 days. So sign up before then, and you can join us then. So I appreciate that. Thank you so much, guys. Let me see if I get that off, and we're back at the comments. Thank you so much, Wes. Thank you so much, Wes. I appreciate it, my dude. Thank you so much, Michael. Thank you so much, as always, Danny. You guys are fantastic. You and Jess both. Appreciate you guys. Love you to death. Thank you, Bridget. I appreciate you so much. I would rather watch Paint try than watch Como with Caligula. I know, but, you know, as he's president, we're kind of stuck with it. Thank you, Slacks, as always. Maz the Martian, fantastic. Stoneflower Dragon, I appreciate you very much. Slacks, again, coming in with a huge $10 contribution. Thank you, Lonzetta. Thank you so much. Yes, we are still talking about him, and we are going to continue to talk about him. Thank you, Bob. Thank you, Josh. Thank you, Perry. Thank you, Slacks, again. Let's fucking go, dude. Tell Dropkick Murphys about the great rock band Dungaree Dogs NYC from Queens. I sure will, my brother. Josh, thank you so much again. Sheldon, Michael, Ricky, excuse me, Colleen, thank you so much. Netanyahu, excuse me, God damn it, will be imprisoned if there is peace. F him and Trump again, which is why he is so persistent on engaging in war, engaging, in making sure that the wars continue, making sure that there is no peace, so he can continue to gain a foothold, continue to gain his, keep his hold on power. Thank you, Stoneflower Dragon. Colleen, you're absolutely right. Thank you, Bicycle Mike. Let's do lunch soon before my surgery. Let's get it in. Let's do it, brother. Let's do it. Thank you, Nordez. Thank you, Kimchi. Thank you, JD, for the profanity bonus, as always. Much needed. Thank you, Steven. I appreciate you, brother. Still want to buy Brian a candy bar and Eskimo pie. I won't mention Dinky being on pedophile. All right. Well, I'm in because I love candy bars, Eskimo pies. I'm down for a Choco sandwich. And then Chewy, thank you so much for rounding it out with 10 gifted. Sorry to fly through those guys like I did, but I have to take off for the Warp Tour. Make sure that we're ready, that we're not sitting through too much traffic. So I appreciate you guys. I'm going to let you go. I will see you guys Tuesday, 2 p.m. Eastern, 11 a.m. Pacific for the Tuesday show. Until then, get out of your seats, get into the streets, find your nearest rally, find your nearest protest. Make sure you're getting out there. Stay loud, stay proud, stay aggressive, but keep your head on a swivel. Make sure you're staying safe out there because you never know who's showing up. Until next time, I'm Boston Brian. This is Blunt Politics. Hit the like on the way out. Become a channel member. Patreon.com/Boston Brian. The Venmo. So many different ways to help. Thank you for supporting independent media. Bust a buck and try your luck in supporting independent media, folks. What do you got to lose? What do you got to lose? All right. I'll see you Tuesday. I appreciate it. Keep kicking ass. I'm Boston Brian. I'll see you later, guys. Thank you. Enjoy the rest of your weekend. And thank you, mods. I appreciate you. Everybody on Venmo. You guys rock. Thank you to everybody in the chat. Appreciate it. Keep kicking ass.
Up here bashing the living shit out of Nazis.
Like we always do about this time.
It feels so lovely to be here tonight. What a beautiful life. Give yourselves a round of applause. You're so lovely. Everyone's so lovely.
Brian, you're drunk. You're drunk.
Fucking Nazis.
The town drunk?
Wrong. He says rectum damn near killed him. Gettysburg, what an unbelievable battle that was. The Battle of Gettysburg. What? Never fight uphill, me boys. Never fight uphill. Army manned the air. It ran the ramparts. It took over the airports. It did everything it had to do. Eating the dogs, the people that came in, they're eating the cats.
I can just tell you that a con artist is about to take over the Republican Party and the conservative movement, and we have to put a stop to it.
When you ran out the healthy arms, you ran out of really healthy. They had great arms, but they ran out. It's called sports. It's called baseball in particular, and pitchers, I guess you could say, in really particular.
of lobsters, right? There were trees around when lobsters first manifested themselves on the planet.
And you'll have a group of Venezuelan killers, street gangs, occupying the town with MK-47s. I know that gun very well. I got to know it very well. I've become...
They call them dumps, big, massive dumps.
I ain't falling for no banana in my tailpipe.
Get off my plane. Tell the director to call the White House. Do your fucking job!
Bad news, bad news. Even when it's good news, it's bad news.
Cacophony, a crescendo, a finale, a coup de grace.
Obama. Obama. Obama.
Yesterday's a hard word for me.
The big, fat, sloppy United States.